Oh, hello. Ah, all right. Looks like I am streaming. Hello, hello. Yay, I'm making sure everything's streaming properly. It's my first time. Hi, everybody. I'm gonna do my big face reveal in a couple minutes. I just want to see who else pops up on here and uh expect a lot of disorganized chaos because I genuinely am figuring this shit out as I go. So, yeah. Meanwhile, while I am waiting for some more peeps to show off my grand display, what are some questions? Think about some questions you guys have for me, my channel, my maker, any of that cool stuff. All the disorganized chaos. That's okay. We get those noms. Noms are necessary. I wasn't prepared. I thought I was prepared, and then I hit a button and I just reset my entire dashboard, and then I was panic calling my friend to help me set things up because I had no idea what was going on. So, yeah, it's okay. Life is supposed to be filled of unexpected. Hello, hello, my friends. Hi, hello, YouTube. Why did you just pop something up on my face or on my screen? You guys can't see it. No, this was not helpful, YouTube. Go away, YouTube. I just wanted to see the comments from my YouTuber people. Twitch will always lull you into a false sense of security. True, true. Um, I'm mostly dealing with the OBS monster, trying to deal with everything. Hi, Betty. Oh, I'm so glad you're doing better. Oh, speaking of which, my two friends that are currently in the chat, you both have white bunnies that live in Canada. So say hello to each other. My friend, um, Miss Dawson has her bunny named Tilly. Little Tillies! Hi, little Tillies! You're so cute. I love all the little Tillies. You need to help me get those set up for my buns so I can have my bun rep going on. All right, YouTube, will you let me have my okay, let me have my chat back. Cool. Appreciate it, YouTube. I'm gonna give it like maybe 2 more minutes at 6:05 or something, and then I will reveal my masterful disguise. Ha 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 ha. And as one can tell, I have this little floaty gremlin over here. Salutations on YouTube! Hello! The YouTube is working. Yay. I don't know what that is. Affiliated for emotes? I don't, y'all need to understand that I love computers and technology like how I love music, and I'm not good at any of it. Ah! It's a Twitch thing. Oh, okay. Well, you're gonna have to teach me the ways of Twitch because the only thing I know is my twitchy ears. My twitchy ears going on right now. But yeah. So yay! I can use all the help. Um, I don't know how often I will be doing streaming because I'm going to be starting my new job soon, and I'm also hopefully going to be returning to school. So I'll be working full time, going to school, and I'm also part of the Pride committee meeting for my city. So that means I get to help plan, organize, host, run all the things that go into it for events for my city. And so that's going to be taking up a lot of time. So, but I wanted to test out the streaming stuff before my life got really crazy to see if I liked it and all that. So I'm going to be going back to school to be studying well, to get like my social worker's license so that I'm already working in social work. For those who aren't aware, um, I recently left my job at the group home for youths. So I worked with ages 16 to 20, and I really liked it there a lot. Like working with teenagers, I enjoy. Uh, you do get a lot of the backslash and the blow ups and you know, heck you can't tell me what to do and screw this program and I'm gonna run away and I'm gonna come back. But then you have like really wholesome moments where recently before I left, this one girl, she her birthday was coming up and we were like leaving a doctor's appointment that really made her anxious and uncomfortable because doctor's appointments and all that. And I asked her what she wanted to do for her birthday. She said that she doesn't really have good experiences with her birthday. So I helped her plan out a birthday party and like we got decorations and she picked out an outfit and I even made her a birthday cake from scratch because there was issues getting her actual birthday cake that was ordered and paid for. But since Rhode Island celebrates this really messed up holiday, the bakery itself was closed and I wasn't able to pick up the cake. So on the day of her birthday, it was a last second dash of me making this cake from start to finish. Uh, yeah. So it was really cool to have that wholesome moment. Um, I've also been able to take like a kid to a concert. That was a last second mad dash run. But I got to make that work, and it was like a band that is from out of the country and meant a lot to this kid. So that was really good too. So I'm gonna miss working with the teenagers. The new age range I'm gonna be working with is going to be adults and up, so 20 and up, and they're going to be individuals who have been down on their luck. So, say you were in between jobs or you were let go and you were evicted or stuff really like fell apart in your life and you need help getting back on your feet. That's going to be the program I'm working in now, or I'm going to be starting next week. So it's going to be for, like I said, adults 20 and up. They were telling me that I actually had a 70-year-old in the one of the group homes that they were helping out with. Because stuff happened on his end, and especially when you're older, it's really hard to get that type of help. So yeah, looking forward to it. Um, actually, it was kind of funny when I was getting through the application process for my new group home job because it's actually a state government job. So I'm going to be working as a state government employee. One of the people, I guess, from another part of the program that works on the more hospital side reached out to me and asked if I wanted to be part of the addiction recovery team. So if I wind up not liking things at the group home, I might go into the medical side for group addiction. Aw. Yeah, it is a really big career change, in some ways. So, for those of you who don't know, my channel actually started a long, long, long time ago as 8-Bit Bakery. And my friend Miss Dawson over here in the Twitch stream chat um, made me my awesome icon and business logo that I use. And 8-Bit Bakery was this dream I had ever since I was like a little bun, a little kid. And it was to make a bakery for nerds. I liked cake decorating, so I would make Pokemon cakes, and I made an Owl House wedding cake for fun. I made a long Furby cake for my friend's birthday because I hate Furbies and she loves Furbies and I love my friends, so I made that for her. Um, so yeah, I did that for a while, and my videos are still up there. So but they're only on my TikTok. So if you scroll to the very, very end, early stages of my TikTok, you can find that. So I was in the culinary industry for a while, and that was what I thought my life trajectory was going to be. And I went to school for it. and I was working it. Unfortunately, um, the industry kind of destroyed my frail body, and I am now ADA. I use multiple body braces on a daily basis, and I have chronic pains. So my $40,000 some degree is now useless. Um, yeah, so that hurts some, and I got really bad burnout from being in the kitchen on top of everything else. Uh, oh, hello, salutations. I'm glad you're here. I'm just telling my career story. And so yeah, I left the culinary industry. I did some other stuff for a bit, but while I was in culinary industry and even before, like when I was a kid, I always did a bunch of volunteering and social work, and like I was always that friend people would go to in their darkest moments because I could talk about very dark subjects and it wouldn't get to me like other people. Like I could help people sit in it and process it. I've been there when people have self-harmed and helped them put it down, or so that was like my childhood was kind of like my training wheels. Started in elementary school, and so I just kept doing stuff like that on top of I was a captain in my activism group down in Florida, Equality Florida. Shout out. Love you guys. Hope you're doing well. I know you're fighting a good fight right now. I was a Care Bear captain, which meant I took care of the mental health and well-being of all of our volunteers, on top of talking to politicians, lawmakers, going to protests, and doing educational things. So I would like host stuff online, or when we went to talk to people at the Capitol, I brought homemade cookies, coloring sheets, plushies, just all that stuff to help people because it was really, a stressful time fighting for our freaking human rights down in Florida. Um, yeah, so I have a lot of experience. I've had people live temporarily live with me in my apartment, like couch surfing because they were in between college semesters and they started their transition journey and it wasn't safe for them to go home. Um, I would have, uh, yeah, trauma does suck. But a saying that I would say to the kids in the group home is shit helps flowers grow. Too much shit, nothing can grow, but using the shit you got can help you grow into a healthier, better person. And that's what I try to do for myself, for my own personal traumas. My therapist actually asked me in one of our sessions how my past traumas and everything were, affecting my life. And I said, it makes me great at my job. In which he like laughed at. I was like, oh boy. So, yeah, so like I've kind of always been indirectly in the social work field. And so last year I applied and got a job at a group home. So I drove cross country with my partner and our two bunnies and started my new job. And the reason why I left the group home isn't because of the kids. Like I said, I absolutely love working with teenagers. Um, it's really it's always a whole bag of emotions, like it's really funny at times. It's really can be frustrating. I didn't get super frustrated because I knew what I was getting into. The reason why I left is because the staff, it's always the staff, isn't it? Um, there's just too many things that were going on that made me just question and be uncomfortable with decisions being made by higher ups or people literally not doing their jobs and getting paid while I'm like working multiple people's jobs and being like the kid's favorite staff. So I'll have like three residents like pulling my attention in three different directions on top of trying to manage phone calls and paperwork. And if a police officer shows up for a check-in or someone's mentor's here or another meeting, and it just got to be a lot. Um, and when I was asking my boss for some help, like, my schedule really sucked. Oh, at the 6:20 mark, I'm gonna take off my disguise so everyone can see. Hi, friends. Hi, Nova. Nice to see ya. I was just saying at the 6:20 mark, I'm gonna take off my disguise so you guys can see my adorable face. But I was talking about why I left my old job. My old schedule was utter garbage, and no one else ever worked this schedule. It was not like a normal schedule part of the group home that I just got slotted into. It was like almost like a custom schedule from hell that I somehow got stuck with for like 9 months. Um, where I would be working night shift, which is fine, and 3 days of the week I'd be clocking in at 4 o'clock, and then my clock out time's supposed to be midnight. But with check-ins and debriefs and everything else, you normally wouldn't get out on time. You normally get out like 15 to 45 minutes after your initial clock out time. But then on Fridays or Saturdays and Sundays, I'd be working midnight to 8 in the morning, which means every Friday, Saturday, I'd be working a 16-hour plus shift, almost like a 17 to 18-hour plus shift every week. And you don't get breaks in group home social work kind of careers positions. Um, Pipperton. I like that nickname. It's silly. So yeah, I'd be working 16, 17, 18-hour shifts every week. It's just part of my normal schedule, which really sucked. And my schedule was completely opposite of my partner's, so we didn't have a full 24 hours together for like almost a year. So when I reached out to my boss to try to get some help with that, and his main answer was, "Oh, well, when we get fully staffed, we can like move you around, or someone else wants to pick up your shitty schedule, I'll approve the change." To, "Well, if you decide to stay with the company or leave with the company, I support whatever decision you make." Um, so yeah, that wasn't really helping my situation out. So that's why I applied. And now I'm going to be working as a state government, not federal. I don't trust the federal government right now. State government employee. So yeah. And then circle back. That's why I'm going to school to get my social worker license so that I can hopefully get paid more. And also, I want to do all the things in social work. I think it's all really fascinating and super cool. And I just want to know how everything works out. So, uh, starting off as a social worker license can help me get a peek in and see what it's all like and what direction I want to go into afterwards. Not to mention, I haven't been in college in like 8 some years since I graduated, so I didn't want to dive in with a full-time job into getting like another degree and then it being like too much with at least a social worker's license. It's easier to like take a pause and then pick back up on it. So, yeah. Uh, so yeah, it's my career from being culinary arts, but background of being a social worker volunteer to now being a volunteer or now being a social worker as my current career choice. Um, I do sometimes think about opening up that bakery, but because my ADA, it would be difficult. I would definitely have to have other people mostly doing all the kitchen work while I supervise and manage the other stuff. But I also love being in the kitchen. So we'll see. Anybody out there who's done culinary work before? I just want to see if I'm the only one here or anyone else has got some good stories. Oh, we're done with time to reveal my disguise. Oh, and for anyone who doesn't know, I am using VTuber Studios, the free edition. So that's why we have this little girl whose bow doubles as wings, like in Sonic, just flapping around down there. Um, if you pay, then she goes away, but I am not, I'm broke. I'm a broke bud. What can I say? Not in a kitchen. Good for you. Culinary industry is terrible and amazing at the same time. Oh, it is 6:20, so I'm gonna take off my disguise. Let's see. We're gonna remove the mustache. and remove the glasses. And let's see. We can do. I got smaller. There we go. A little bigger. Trying to so you guys can see my eyes better. Awesome, awesome. Hold on. I'm gonna lock myself into place so I'm not drifting all over. Ha ha ha. This is such a strange way to watermark software. I kind of love that. Yeah, it's I don't actually hate it because if you've seen any of my shorts that I put out recently, um, I just move myself to the far right side where she doesn't like float over to, and then I crop the video from there. So it makes it easier in that way. Just I know like the quality goes down like a little bit, but considering I am not going to be paid, I'll take it. So yeah, just playing around with my what I've got kind of thing, my resources. Ooh, you see, Nova says I was a server and saw a chef throw a plate at someone's head once. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I can tell you guys so much about the. Okay, well no, wait. I gotta. If we're gonna do this, we gotta do this properly. Okay, you guys, we're gonna pull out the boba tea. No, give me my boba tea, because we're gonna talk about some culinary tea. By the way, what's some of y'all's favorite boba tea flavors? I'm gonna put that here. Come on, you can lock it. There we go. We're gonna, and of course, because I'm queer, I'm sassy. So we're gonna get those glasses back on. Where are my glasses? No, that's the mustache. Let's, let's do green ones. Let's see what the green one looks like. Just so y'all know, in case you couldn't. No, why are you showing me this? In case you guys couldn't tell, this is very unpolished. This is me figure. Oh, hello. Why? Whoa! Stop. The other glasses didn't do this. Okay, we don't like those glasses. And this is very unpolished. I'm just trying to figure stuff out, and I appreciate all of y'all's support and just being here and watching my silliness. Um, okay, okay. Okay, this'll do. We can do this. Okay. All boba tea is favorite boba tea. Ooh, mango and strawberry. So my favorite. Oh wait, go. Hold on. Bloopers, bloopers. Um, my favorite boba tea spot down in Florida. It was in the mall, and yes, the glasses are talking to me. Okay, lemonade is my number one drink of all time. You will be seeing me drink lemonade all the time, but it has to be natural. It can't be artificial stuff. Artificial stuff gives me headaches. I don't like it. Uh, oh no, apartment issues. I dealt with those recently, but I appreciate you for hanging out. We're just talking about boba tea, and I'm getting ready to spill some tea of my own. Hence the boba tea coming up. But Florida, if you know, um, is it called the Florida Mall? I think it's called the Florida Mall. It's in Orlando. There's this cute boba tea shop, and you can make your own boba drink. So you can pick between the tea or a milk juice flavor, and then you can pick the type of boba pearls that you want. And they would also have like really cool ones with like ice cream in it, and it was just a great. So, but yes, the comment saying that you saw a chef throw a plate at someone's head before. So that is not uncommon. Yes, it is the one we went to, Nova, the boba tea shop we went to. I totally forgot that we went there. Yeah. What's up, Speaks? I'm glad you're here, my dude. We're gonna spill some culinary tea. And while I spill culinary tea, obviously, if you guys got questions for me or if you have culinary tea of your own to spill, go for it. Most of my stories will be coming from Florida's favorite dictator, the mouse himself, because I worked there for most of my culinary career. I did work in some other spots. But yeah, so big open secret. If you ever go to a Disney resort or anything Disney related, the chefs are BS. Okay? The chefs are barely ever in the kitchen. They're paid salary, not hourly. So when they're telling the team, oh, we had to cut your days off to 1 day off and you have mandatory overtime, they don't have to abide by that. One time, we were like, it was being slammed. We only got approved 1 day off, mandatory overtime. Everyone's busting ass. And the chef, one of our chefs, um, said accidentally let slip that he had 3 days off that week. Yeah. So chefs are salary, so they don't have to really work hard, which means they also get to hang out in their air-conditioned office spaces. Um, I have worked at restaurants, resorts, festivals, and specialty. All of that Disney offers. I've worked in all of them, and this is the same. I've been in at least 6 different locations at Disney, and not one has changed except for out of all the chefs, there's one chef that I respect because he actually busted ass with us. He'd be next to us. He'd be there before we come in. He'd be the last to leave. He'd be working really hard, creating things because like he was one of the people who would create stuff, and then if it got approved by like Disney, then it would be made for you guys to consume. So he would make really awesome like desserts because he was a pastry chef, and that's what I was in. I was in baking and pastry, and they would constantly turn down his stuff because of like stupid things. But yeah, he was the only chef I respect out of like the 20 plus chefs I had worked under or worked with when I was at Disney. They get air conditioned offices that's not a part of the kitchen. So every air conditioned office that I've seen has not had like window vision into the kitchen itself. Like they are completely tuned out of what happens in the kitchen. Some of them are actually like you have to leave the building, walk across like a small parking lot and go into like this miniature building itself to get to the chef's office. And they get to walk around the parks for quote unquote inspections, but that means that they also get like all the credit because people are constantly going up to them and giving them like, oh, praise and thank you and your food tastes great. But they're not in the kitchen themselves. It's us grunts and chef assistants that are doing all the work. Some of my friends might know that at one point I was working in this kiosk. Who here has been to Disney? Specifically Disney World Epcot. And if you've been there during the food and wine festival, you know how freaking crazy it is. So there's this very popular kiosk called the Germany kiosk, and it serves like bratwurst and like other small stuff like that. So the kiosk itself is like not very big at all. Like, you can maybe fit like 2 or 3 people in there. 2 people comfortably, 3 people uncomfortably. That's how big it is. This kiosk is in the middle of the sun, no shade. It has a stove top. It has a heat lamp. It has a refrigerator. It has a hot box, all producing heat and exhausting heat. And this was when it was still like the COVID pandemic situation. So not only were we wearing already our heavy culinary outfits, we had to wear even more layers on top of that for our protection. So baking in the sun, uh, just sweating, rush hour, you can't have your water with you. You have to step outside the kiosk to drink water because that's considered a violation. So you don't get a lot of water breaks. And at the end of my shift, I would have salt crystals growing from my sweat on my necklace. Like at the end of every shift, new salt crystals from my own sweat. That's how freaking hot and disgusting it was. Yeah, it is dangerous. And they don't care because they gave you a water bottle that you can't keep with you while you're in the kitchen space because that's a violation. Um, there's so many horror stories of in a culinary world. Like, if you pass out, that's you can get like negative points for that if you pass out at work because of heat exhaustion. It's insane. Actually, before I was leaving Florida, I know that there was a law they were trying to pass, where if you were working outside or underneath extreme heat conditions, you would have to be compensated and paid like an extra amount. And of course, Disney and Universal and all the big money grubbers down there were trying to prevent that from happening. Yo, OSHA knows nothing about culinary life. Um, so another fun fact about culinary kitchens at Disney is that every single kitchen has a drug dealer. I mean, this is kind of a universal statement for like culinary in general, but like Disney heavily. Um, my coworkers would go into the freezer, the walk-in freezer. The walk-in crier is walk-in crier. Wow. The walk-in refrigerator is where you cry, and the walk-in freezer is where you get high. That's just how it works. Because if you go into the walk-in freezer, it's so cold you can see your breath. People can't really pick up that you're on a vape pen and you can't really smell it. So, is that a violation for a lot of reasons? Yeah. But was it how people were getting through all the stress and torment and abuse of all levels in the kitchen? Also, yes. I didn't get high at work because I am not that type of person. And also, like, Disney will conduct a background drug test on you if you drop like a bottle of wine. Just a bottle of wine. If it's over a certain price value, Disney will drug test you and background check you and try to charge you for it. So if you happen to have anything like in your system while you're at work, like clearly that they could tell, you can bet your bunny butt that that would be way worse than just a regular bad day at Disney. Um, Unlicensed pharmacists, the unsung heroes of restaurants and kitchens in general. Heck yeah. Um, so if you ever go to Disney World or Disneyland or anything Disney or just most culinary kitchens, if it's ever taking longer than expected, chill the fluff out. Okay? We'd be screamed at for being 2 minutes behind or 1 minute behind or even 30 seconds. If we're 30 seconds behind, we're being yelled at. Like you're touching hot plates that are over 100 degrees with your bare hands because you don't have time to get a towel or something to protect your hands. You don't get like the chill out. And also like other restaurants, like other places, they'll let you eat like the scraps or like the leftovers. Not at Disney. If they see you eating scraps, that's considered a violation. They consider you stealing from them, even if they were going to throw it out. They see that as thievery, and yeah, they can even press charges if they feel like it. But we ate from the stuff anyways, because who gives a fluff? Um, but yet it's also part of the reason why Disney doesn't do drug tests anymore. Because they know that everyone in the culinary side does drugs. There's no way that they don't do drugs. To the point that one of my chef assistants, um, I love him, and we had a really fun relationship where like he would call me Butters, because of my old last name. So he'd be like, "Yo, Butters!" I'd be like, "What's up, fat ass?" For those who don't know, those are South Park references. And one day he was at home and it was his day off and he did a wake and bake. He deserves to do that. But he gets a call from the chef and the chef's like, "Yo, too many people called out. We are in the weeds. We need your help." And my chef assistant goes, "Yo, man, I just did a wake and bake." And the chef's like, "I don't care. I won't write you up. You could even wear sunglasses if you want. We just need you to come on in." So yeah, he came in high as heck. His eyes were red. He was wearing sunglasses inside. Um, but yeah, he got it done on his day off, high as hell at Disney. That's not uncommon. Yeah, so it's crazy. And like the chefs also, because they're salary, they're not part of the union, which is like good. But it also means that the chefs are very abusive at Disney. Um, and the man was in the weeds for sure. Yeah, you better believe it. That food did taste good though. Oh, yeah, one of our chefs, we called him Chef Mayonnaise because he was a cis hetero white guy who was divorced and he was just mediocre. Like, I'm not saying it to be rude. That's just who he was. And we called him Chef Mayonnaise. So I was mixing like this giant bowl of macaroni, like mac and cheese. Like, what I mean giant, we called them bird baths at in the culinary industry. Some other people like they have other names for them. They're called moon bowls. They hold like they can hold like 50 gallons of stuff. So I'm mixing like this giant batch, and starting and it was supposed to be pre-seasoned, and I tasted it, and it wasn't, and it was bland. So I have Chef Mayonnaise taste it. I'm like, hey chef, this doesn't taste like much. I'm thinking of adding these spices to like give it some flavor. And Chef Mayonnaise goes, yeah, I think it just needs salt. Bruh, my guy, it needed more than just salt. It needed the garlic powder and the onion powder, and we needed some like, well, the turmeric went into pickles, so you didn't want to have too much turmeric. But like, we needed like so much more than just salt. And he was a chef, and his answer for most things were just like, just add salt, or it's fine the way it was. And then we'd get complaints from guests that it doesn't taste like anything, and that was because we listened to the chef. So most times we wouldn't listen to him. But yeah. Culinary industry. So, anybody want have any questions about Disney? I got some secrets to spill. Speaks, did you ever go to Disney? I think I know we had talked about it, but I know we never went together. Yeah, working for Disney kind of killed my love for Disney, not gonna lie. So, there are training videos at Disney on how to smile. Like, that's part of your initial training is that there's a video for how to smile and that you always need to smile because if you don't smile, even if it's at the end of your shift, it could be someone's first time being at Disney. And if they don't see you smiling, it could ruin their day, ruin their experience for not smiling. Unless you had a smile that they didn't like. If you had like too many crooked teeth or missing teeth or something like that, then they're like, don't smile with your teeth. Like you need to have a closed mouth smile. See, I've never been myself, so I don't know a thing about it other than like that I don't want to go ever. Yeah, that's fair. Um, Tickets are almost $200, or I think they've reached like basically the $200 mark with taxes now to get in, and you will spend 80 to 90% of your time in a line at Disney. Even to get food and for a restaurant, you'll be in a line. It's it's crazy. Uh I if anything, go to like Disneyland. It's smaller, but less people. Because Disney World is just mm, too many, too many. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of really cool things there. But when you're spending most of your time in line, and if you don't want to spend too much time in line, you have to pay a lot of money for Fast Pass because they recently like made it super hard to get the ADA line pass. It's crazy. Yeah. So other culinary tea I could spill. Yeah, it is too expensive. Disney is overrated. Like it's insane. We would be able to quote unquote like be able to go into the parks for free. However, it was just ah so expensive, even when you get to go in for free. The super fake happy kind of energy creeps me out. I don't see the appeal personally. Nothing is that happy, too creepy, dystopian smile fest. 110%, my friend. 110%. But like being someone like myself who grew up in an abusive household, you learned how to fake smile and make it pass really well. So you just kind of, if you don't already own that skill when you work at Disney, you learn that skill. It's really messed up, but that's like something I call it a skill for lack of better words, but that is definitely something that Disney puts upon you. And you will get in trouble if you're not smiling in the public. Like if you're in the eyes of the public, you will get in trouble. The only time it's excusable for you not to be smiling is if you're like a character who's like a villain or if there's an emergency happening. But even with an emergency happening, depending where you are, like if you're not directly helping the emergency, and like say if you're forming like a human wall so like guests can't see what's happening, or you're directing guests somewhere else, you have to smile. Like we had an emergency. um it was I was working at this specialty chocolate shop down at Disney, and we have these like jewelry cases to preserve the chocolate in, because so they're temperature controlled and they're really nice and like actual jewelry cases. They're like bulletproof. Disney goes all out. Anyway, I was helping out this man, and he was there with his family, and he was saying it was for Disney's 50th anniversary. So like we had all the specialty 50th like chocolate bars and flavored and all that stuff. Anyway, this guy was telling me that he was celebrating his 50th birthday with his cousin, who's also turning 50 at Disney's 50th anniversary. And, it's nice. I'm helping him pick out his chocolates. And all of a sudden, this guy like collapses in front of me. And like he just blacks out and collapses backwards. Um, Thankfully, someone caught him. And I'm like, sir, are you okay? Do you need me to call somebody for you? Like, or get water or something? Like, cause, people get heat exhaustion and everything. Um, he said he was fine and that he didn't need anything and he wanted to finish making his order because he was getting like one of those really big boxes of like 25 chocolates and stuff. Um, so I continue like I can't do anything at that point, I just gotta smile and continue. And he passes out again, but this time he falls forward. His head hits the jewel case, his head hits the counter, and then he falls on the ground. Like, I low key thought this guy might have just died, or at least was seriously concussed. Um, so, ambulance was called, like medical was called. Some of my other coworkers were forming a human wall outside of the store because people were trying to like take pictures and record it, which is its own thing. But I was kind of trapped behind the counter because the medical people came in, so I couldn't like leave the counter. But like guests can still see me through the window. There's this guy lying on the ground, his family's inside, everything's happening. So I just had to like awkwardly smile and fold up boxes and prep pre-closing while this guy is like kind of concussed on the floor. Uh Thankfully, like he didn't die or there was no serious known to me situation happened. It was a funny thing happened where like this guy like bursts through the doors into the shop like a soap opera and yells out, "My son!" And I guess it was this guy's dad. And it was like he was waiting to do this moment his entire life, just how dramatically Disney theatrical it was that he like burst open the doors, exclaimed "My son," and then like went onto the ground. And like at that point, the guy who had passed out had revived, and he just 50. He had been drinking a lot to celebrate. He was not taking in enough water. Um, so yeah, that's what had happened. Stay hydrated. But yeah, Disney makes you smile through emergencies. Um, ooh, if if you're a character costume cast member, like if you're, Mickey Mouse or Goofy or something, you are basically dead to the company. Especially or any type of character, but especially if you're a costume character. And I say that you're dead to the company is because if you're having an emergency where like you're dying, they won't do anything until you're out of the view of the guests, the public. So, for example, like on the Disney cruise ships, they have like Donald and Goofy in these character costumes, and most of y'all are furries or no furries, and you know how our fursuits are. So or Donald or Goofy, these characters have to go into the water for the pool parties. They go on the shallow end, but we all know that a couple inches of water can drown a person. So they're already in these heavy costumes in the water with a bunch of people. And if you happen to go under and you start drowning, they will not remove your like character head or remove you out of the costume to perform CPR until you're out of the view of the public. And you sign that waiver once you become like a character. Like you sign away that right for immediate like medical attention once you become a Disney character. So like, yeah, please be nice to them. I had friends that were Disney characters, and one of my friends, someone was being inappropriate towards them while they were in costume. And Disney's like, well, we're gonna they took my friend like underground because there's a bunch of tunnels underground. And they put my friend in a freaking holding cell while they figured out what to do. So my friend got like, you know, felt up while on the job in their outfit, in their costume, because some guests wanted to be creepy, and Disney put my friend in the holding cell to figure out what to do next. Like they don't care about the cast members, and it really shows. Like if you're a princess, or like if you're a Disney face character, meaning if you're a character who isn't in like a costume that completely covers you up, like they could see your face, they could see your skin, you get a lot more love, and you get paid more. Actually, you get paid more, you get a lot more love. If you start like overheating, it's easier for you to be removed out of the heat, or if someone's being inappropriate towards you, they will immediately jump in on that over someone in a costume. Um, yeah, no, you're not treated like a living being at Disney. You're not. You're a cast member. You're supposed to be there for the show at all costs. Um, it sounds all kinds of illegal, but Disney basically owns half of the state. Goddamn. Yeah, Disney, if Disney decided to leave Florida, Florida would implode. Like Disney runs they have their own city. No joke. Like Disney makes their own energy supply. They grow a lot of their like a good amount of their own food. They like the reason why the roadways are so nice in Orlando is because Disney pays for the roadways to be nice, because all the roadways will lead to Disney. One way or another, they will all connect to Disney. Yeah. So Disney sucks. And when I would work at other places after I left Disney, I would have like these like baby-eyed high schoolers just, oh, I want to work for Disney. I want to work for culinary. And I just look at them with my dead soul eyes and be like, no, you don't. You do not want to work for Disney. They are soul crushing. Like, yeah, it's insane. But it's legal because Disney makes you sign an NDA and like all this other paperwork for when you start your job. Disney legalized stealing from their own employees. Like like I had mentioned earlier, that chef who would like make all these really cool recipes and all this stuff, and most of the time Disney would just like shoot it down. Um, if you, and this happened a lot. So this is like a warning. And this isn't just Disney, because other big companies like Universal and SeaWorld, follow whatever Disney does. Um, so in the culinary industry, you can sometimes get opportunities to make a specialty dish or dessert that'll then be approved and put on the menu for people to enjoy. And this really happens around the holiday seasons, especially like the Christmas. And you had people bringing in like family recipes of like, oh, like this cookie recipe's been in my family for generations. And like it's like a really good recipe. And if Disney likes that recipe, they own it. They legally own it. And if you try to like make that cookie and then sell it, using the same recipe that you brought to Disney, Disney has the right to sue you over it. Like they will steal that family generation recipe and claim it's theirs because they legally like do their paperwork when you didn't. And unless you can like prove that this cookbook came from like your great great grandmother or something and like have the money and the time to go against Disney, yeah, say goodbye. Like, oh, obviously you could still make it at home and everything like that. But if you ever like how I wanted to do my own bakery and stuff, that's why like I wouldn't really give my ideas. They'd be like, oh, like you're really creative and like you should contribute ideas. Like I wouldn't because I knew Disney would steal that shit. And then if I wanted to incorporate that into my own bakery someday, Disney, if I made too much of a splash, Disney would come after me, and I didn't want that. So, yeah. No, and they don't pay you for the recipes either. They don't, or whatever ideas that you have. Disney will not pay you for it. They don't have to because they say you voluntarily gave up that information. Yeah, I mean, I do know people who have done that, or they've removed, or like they've modified recipes now that like that happened a lot to Disney. But like, it's horrible, man. It's horrible. Um, I one time I had a chef, so it was during again the busy season of holidays. So wait, like, what's in it for the person making the recipe? Um, it's cool to say like, oh, this was my idea or this was my recipe, and now it's shared to like thousands of people that come to Disney and all that. But Disney doesn't give you the credit. It's not like, oh, this specialty cookie that looks like the Little Mermaid and came from a traditional family recipe was brought to us by this cast member. They don't do any of that. They'll just say like either your chef will get the credit or Disney will just make a blank statement so they claim all the credit. That's it. And Disney wasn't letting people know that they were stealing their recipes until like lawsuits started happening. Yeah, you don't even get exposure for it. So you can like know amongst your friends and be like, "Yo, I did that and look at that." But unless like it's something super crazy that like brings in a bunch of money and that you can then fight to have like your name shared with it, Disney won't do that for you. They will not. They don't care. It's literally like take what you can, give nothing back kind of mentality for them. So I hope I ruined Disney for everybody. You're welcome. Give me your Disney money so I can put it towards my charity instead. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, yeah. I had a chef. Um, God, I had so many bad chefs. Like I said, chefs are just the worst. And she would literally shit talk us in front of her boss. She would shit talk her entire culinary team right in front of us, in front of her boss. Meanwhile, during this time when this was happening, we were breaking sales records on a weekly to almost daily basis. And for giving more context, this was when I was working at the Ganagerie, the chocolatier, specialty chocolate place in Disney, the only chocolate place that Disney owns in the entire world. So, big deal kind of thing. And we had like 32 specialty flavors that we would make. We would also have for Christmas, we would have like specialty hot chocolate melting Olafs, which take 48 hours to make just one, and we had to have 100 every single day. We also made the cocoa powder from scratch and the marshmallows from scratch. So we had those. We also had to have our breakable chocolate piñatas ready. We would also make specialty chocolate bars for resorts that ordered them for their guests to make their guests feel more bougie. So we had to make those on top of everything I just listed. And we had to make custom ordered, ready to make s'mores. So if you ordered a s'more from the ganagerie, we made the marshmallow from scratch, the chocolate from scratch, the graham cracker from scratch. We would have to stop whatever we're making, and mind you, this kitchen is a fishbowl kitchen, which means it's like most of the walls are glass, so the guests can see everything that you're doing inside the kitchen. So if you mess up or anything, they can see that. So, yeah. Anyway, you had to stop whatever you're working on to then make this s'more. You got to toast the marshmallow, you got to melt the chocolate, you got to put it together, you got to package it up. Oh, before you package it, you got to add the powder sugar so that it forms a Mickey Mouse hat on top of it, of course. And then you got to package it up, and then you have to leave the kitchen, go to the front of the store to then hand deliver it to the guest. It takes about 20 to 30 seconds each. But when one person sees it, then another person wants it. So you'll get like 5 or 10 orders of these custom s'mores just coming in, and then you can't work on your project. Now that's behind. It's rush. Someone else is trying to pick up the slack on your end, but they're dealing with a bunch of stuff. So we're dealing with that. And then we're also during this holiday season with everything, having to make custom desserts for other restaurants that want chocolate desserts. We have to make it. So we're making sales records. We're busting ass. I basically lived at that shop. I would be working like 70, 60, 70 hours a week with less than 24 hours at home because I had like a 45-minute drive. And again, my chef, she was on vacation and had her 2 days off. And she told us that if we had any plans before or after our shift, to cancel them. If we had any doctor's appointments or medical surgeries, to cancel them. Because she would need us and that she would not approve our time off. And if we called out, we'd be written up. That was okay by Disney standards. And again, she would just shit talk us, saying like how she would be doing all the work and that we're lazy. And when we had a COVID outbreak in the kitchen, our team of 12, and there was 8 people who got like basically 8 people who got sick with COVID, they didn't let us close down the kitchen. We had to stay open. And our chef was going around being like, oh, I bet so and so doesn't have COVID, that she just didn't want to work. I'm like, Disney doesn't pay you if you have COVID. I mean, you mandatory have to stay away for at least 2 weeks, but they won't pay you for it. So who's going to say that and go 2 weeks without payment during the holiday season? Yeah, exactly. And like Disney just didn't care. And like we were literally pulling poor cashiers off of just like any other shop around us to have them work for us because like we didn't have the people. So that same year with the COVID outbreak and all the long list of stuff that we have to make, it's Christmas. The freaking busiest day of the year. And my chef wasn't there. Our chef assistants weren't there because they were either sick or other stuff had happened. And it was just me and 2 other people running the entire shop. All of us were newbies. None of us had done this closing, or well, we've done closing, but like none of us had done like Christmas Day in this shop before. And we were down by at least like we needed at least a team of 6 to 8 people to manage the rush of that day. There was 3 of us, just three. No chef assistant, no chef, not even a manager was there. We literally pulled cashiers off of the Disney store to work our cash register and to package chocolates just so that we could like get stuff done. Go to Disney during COVID. Oh my gosh. I would have guests come, like, I'd be making them their freaking specialty Disney dessert. And I had this one lady complaining to me. I had to fly all the way to Florida from California because Disneyland's still not open because California takes COVID too seriously. And you guys are making me wear a mask and it's Florida and it's hot. And remind you, I was sweating, making salt crystals during quarantine. Yeah. Yeah. So I had these privileged guests complaining to me about this stuff. I would have guests wearing like these fake masks and like yelling at me and saying that they're gonna get me fired and like beratement and stuff. And Disney's just like, remember, you gotta smile. Even when you're wearing a mask, they can tell if you're not smiling based on your eyes. Like most of us wouldn't smile if we wore a mask. And actually, I would wear my mask long after they said we didn't have to wear a mask anymore, just so I didn't have to smile. And also, I would chew gum because that would really help me manage my anxiety and stress. And also, like, you get one break and that's it. So you wind up being hungry and exhausted. So I would just be chewing gum. So if I wore a mask, they couldn't really tell I was chewing gum. So I would do that. Another Disney hack. But yeah, Disney don't give a fuck about you unless you're a guest with money. They will literally have cast members be verbally abused and they will let people get sometimes physically abused by guests. As long as Disney gets their money and they can sweep it under the rug, they don't care. So actually, even while I worked in culinary, to bring this back to social work, I kind of was a social worker while in culinary because I was just that type of person who did all the volunteering stuff outside of work, and people would know that. So I remember in one time in one of my kitchens, we had like a server who was new, and they were like having a panic attack. Something had happened with a guest. Guests are like extremely mean, and they were having a panic attack. It was rush hour. One of my friends came up to me because she would work both culinary and like a front of house. She came up to me, "Hi, Crazy Pig, Sam, nice to see ya." And she's like, "Yo, friend, someone, this like newbie is having a panic attack. No one can like communicate with them. What should we do?" So I walked her through the process. Actually gave her some of my gum to pass off to this guest. I had like a fidget toy on my work bag that I was able to pass off. And like because of what I told them to do and walk my friend through the process, she was able to help this poor kid like calm down from a panic attack. And like you will have management try to send you out right away. They don't care. So it's more of like those of us who are lower on the rank will try and protect each other. Um Same restaurant. We had another server who was so this was again, this is the American Pavilion now at Epcot. Um to get your all American barbecue dinner. Um, anyways, so a lot of us are actually like Hispanic or from Haiti or like a lot of, minorities work in the kitchen, which is great fun. Like you got a bunch of language and culture and I love that. So one of the servers, she came back and she was like in tears. She was crying, and we had never seen her like this before. Like she's a veteran. She's like dealt with being guests before, you know. And we're like, "Yo, what happened?" And she tells us she was cleaning up one of the tables, and one of the guests said, "We're getting the real American experience. We're having a Mexican clean up after us." And like for one, she's Puerto Rican. For two, that's like racist as fuck. And for three, when she went to her manager to tell what had happened and what the guest did, the manager just shrugged it off and like, "There's nothing we can do." Um, and like they were just like being like really racist and making racial comments towards her, and she was upset that her manager just wasn't there to protect her. So like us culinary people, we like we were like knives out. We were ready to like cut a bit, right? So like we took her back and we're like, "Hey, like we'll get you like your favorite snack. We'll like basically hide you in like the storage or something so you can calm down, take a moment, eat, and we'll just say if your manager's looking for you, we had you run an errand for us. And when you come back, just like pull this item out of storage and we'll just like pretend that you got that for us. Okay? So that's what we did. Yeah, having a panic attack in general is just freaking terrible. But like doing it at work is just it's just ugh, it's so bad. At least you get paid for it, but like nah. And the fact like the managers don't do anything about it. Like I've faced transphobia at work and my freaking chefs, which are like our managers, they knew it happened and they didn't do anything out there to help protect me. Rumboy! Bruh, that manager should be fired. Bro, I had another friend of mine who is like the nicest person. She's even despite all the Disney abuse, she still works at Disney with that Disney magic somehow. I don't know how she does it. Like she was like my work mom. Um, she was in place of my actual mother for my wedding, so she's my work mom. I would even call her that at work. When like transfer kids or transfer employees were going back to their home country, she would like make them their favorite dessert and stuff. Super nice person, you know, all that stuff. And one time I found her crying in the walk-in fridge. I'm like, what happened? And she said that she got in trouble for being too nice to a guest. She got in trouble for that. Like, what the heck? She was like, she's normally culinary, but she was helping out front of house because she needed the hours and they needed the help. And she got in trouble for being too nice. Like, I don't get it. So, yeah, Disney tea. Just don't go to Disney. Like, and I was a Disney kid, you know? I grew up on all the Disney movies and the Disney cartoons, and like my parents' honeymoon was at Disney, and my grandparents had timeshare at Disney, and then my parents got timeshare at Disney, and like it was always a big thing. Disney this, Disney that. Like it was my dream to work at Disney, and it was my dream to work at that chocolate shop, and like I moved cross country for this job and for it to be just a total nightmare that like physically destroyed my body, caused for like so much mental strain, bruh, I don't care if the mouse's lawyers are here. Frickin' beat them up. Heckin' destroy the mouse. Down with the mouse. I will say though, during quarantine with COVID and like Disney was closed, the only like Disney continued to pay for our health insurance while we weren't getting paid. So, and they're like, oh, the higher ups are taking a pay cut so that we could pay for your health insurance during quarantine and you're not working. Like, and then as soon as people went back to work, the higher ups not only got like their money like basically reimbursed, and then like the following year they got a even higher percentage of income. So it was not that big of a deal, but like I was thankful for having health insurance when I wasn't working, not gonna lie. Like that was I needed that and I actually was able to get top surgery during quarantine because of that. I wasn't doing anything else at home. Um so I might as well get my top surgery done. But yeah, that was like the only thing Disney had done. Heard is not that Disney, I've heard, is not that great. My tattoo artist friend said they had an in real life friend who basically was gonna be sued for their own art. Oh yeah, Disney will go after you for your art. Um, Now the higher ups are definitely not hurting. No, like you can look it up. There's this story where there's like this elementary school and they painted a mural and part of the mural had like Mickey Mouse with it because I think it was like basically a Florida based school and like, they're by Disney. So like they added like stuff like a gator, an orange, a Disney character, like other stuff like the native animals and stuff onto their mural. And Disney sued the school and made them take like repaint it like their mural to get rid of Mickey Mouse because the school didn't have the rights or pay for the licensing to have Disney like characters. So that's why, like, also when you see those off-brand like Disney characters who who they're supposed to be, or like even painted ones, and they just kind of look a little weird. People do that intentionally, so like Disney doesn't immediately jump on them. Disney will shake down a toddler for money. It's insane. They're but it's super funny. So I got to live through this crazy timeline of Florida. Um, so Ron DeSantis is a big Disney kid, okay? Like the dude literally got married on Disney property. You know, like he loved the Disney, he loved that Mouse D. But when Disney was like, "Oh, we're gonna have like LGBTQ plus rainbow stuff, and we're gonna allow trans people to be here and not necessarily persecuted and like other stuff." Ron DeSantis threw a fit and like threatened to pull funding or whatever. I don't know. They were usually like threatening Disney with something. So Disney threatened Ron DeSantis back, and they actually like pulled a project that they started working on that would have brought in like millions of dollars more into the state, and they like killed that project just to piss off Ron DeSantis. There's so many companies that do that and just go suing everyone. Yeah, Disney's like one of the biggest companies that does that. Like Disney lawyers, I swear, are better than like the president's lawyers. But yeah. So Disney and Ron DeSantis were having like this feud back and forth, which was like kind of amusing from one standpoint. But like I said, they like Disney decided to pull the plug on this project. The thing that most people don't know is when Disney pulled the plug on this project, they abandoned like hundreds of people. So they were like making this new building, this new facility, yada yada. I don't know exactly what it was for, but they had put out applications for the job. So when the building opened, you would have people who could start right away. So you literally had people who moved from California Disneyland for this opportunity because they would get like a pay increase and like all this other stuff. Like it was supposed to be like a really good opportunity. They uprooted their lives and their families from their homes, moved to Florida because of this job. And then the project was pulled out from under them. And then Disney said, well, you're actually not Disney employees yet because you didn't start at the job. So you're not our problem. Yeah. So you just had a bunch of people that were promised this job, changed lives, changed states, changed everything, and Disney just abandoned them because of their feud with Ron DeSantis. Not to mention that when you transfer from Disneyland to Disney World or the other way around, Disney will like terminate your employment and then rehire you. So like all your seniority, all your time that you put in, all your vacation days and everything that you had, Disney gets rid of it. So you have to start all over again. Even though like people transferred and they got the job within Disney or from their higher ups who gave them like the thumbs up to go for this job, they were terminated and they were have to restart the process. And because the project got pulled, Disney didn't have to pay them out because they were technically not employees yet. So yeah, that was a big thing that had happened that they covered up because they don't want people to know that. And this stream just turned into all the tea Piff can spill from Disney. Gotta give me some of that boba. I'm gonna take an actual water break. If you guys haven't had anything to drink, go do that now. Drink some water. Well, I'm gonna take a small break from the Disney tea. So I'll put my tea spilling out. Hello. Like she's spilling outfit away. Um, because I wanted to I also wanted to talk about like, the future of my channel and stuff. So as you guys can tell, I have this spiffy, pithy new VTuber model. It does not have hand tracking, not yet. My maker doesn't do hand and arm tracking. That's not in their wheelhouse. So that would be for another time also because, money, it's expensive. um, my model was over $500 for anyone who's asking. It was made in installments because I just don't have that type of money to pass over. And my maker is Alistair IK. So Alistair like underscore IK. You can find them on YouTube or I found them on Vgen, VGEN. They're super wonderful. I highly recommend them. They do art and they also do like mini animations and stuff for like your characters. Um, so yeah, I like them a lot. I think they did a really nice job. Oh, I am going to do a close up. You guys are going to get really close to my face. Um, maybe, maybe, no, maybe, okay. My. Oh wait, I locked it. Ha ha. I see. I told you this was not going to be uh professional. Whoa, biggie. I'm a big bun. Big bun. But if you guys take a look at my eyes, you can see the really cool shimmer. See, or we can get even bigger. I got a little heart on my tongue that, you guys can see. But look at the little details in my eyes. We got some hearts in there. We got some little stars and sparkles. And I can't. The shimmer. The shimmer. It's so good. Yeah. I love it. Now to be tiny. Or, what? I'm shrinking. Like Alice in Wonderland. And yeah, for those who have seen me in real life, you can probably recognize my vest here. That's so it even has my pronouns on the vest here and some of my pins I have on my vest, as well as my Homestuck Seer of Light patch and my classic candy chain that I like to wear out. And of course, I have a bunch of bracelets, and that's my poppet bracelet I tend to wear, or I like to wear them when they're not broken because they break so easily at the seam. I got my butt wings that are wiggling, that are really cool. And get my beans. My beans are just there. My butt. Oh, and of course, my shirt says sugar and spite. That came up when I was in the culinary industry, being the way that I am and being an activist. And people would ask me how I was surviving and going through everything. And I would say, I get through it because of sugar and spite. So that is that. See the full body. Whee! So I do not have a computer mouse. So I'm trying to do everything on my little touchpad. So that's why it's a bit wonky. Nope. That. That. Yo. We're getting there. So, can I get some feedback from y'all? What are you guys thinking of the stream so far? How's the audio quality, visual quality? I'm doing this as like a tester. I'm trying to get my bearings. Um, if you guys are amused or bored or like my model, I don't know. I want to hear from you guys. Or if any of you guys are intending on getting VTuber models and stuff, that'd be cool too. Yay, very good so far. Vague, but I appreciate it. I'm teasing, I'm teasing. Um, what's is like, is the audio good? I for context, I recently got in my laptop my gaming laptop because the audio seems perfect so far. Good. So yeah, I got my gaming laptop, and on my end, this poor thing, its name is Sparky, because when I was taking out its packaging, it shocked me. But Sparky tends to have a very loud fan, even with proper ventilation. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't think it was being picked up, but I wanted to double check. I think you're doing great. The model is precious and the stories are interesting. Yay! Whoa, what happened there? Yay, no fan hearing. Yay, yay. I appreciate it. I appreciate hearing from my fans. That's all of you guys. Um, yeah, lost my train of thought. Audio is good, agreed on. Okay, good. I'm glad everybody um is good with the audio. As advice I've taken to heart is your visuals can be kind of off and crunchy, but if your audio's off and crunchy, that's the kicker. Like that's what takes you down. That goes for not just like live streaming, but that like for media of any sort. People will sit through crunchy quality visuals, but will not sit through crunchy quality uh audio. So yeah. Also, big shout out to my friend Surplus Loki that is in the Twitch chat over here. Um, they have helped me out so much with setting up and learning OBS and getting my laptop set up. And even like right before the stream, I was having some technical difficulties. Not really technical difficulties if you know what you're doing, but I do not. So I was like spamming for Surplus Loki, and then I was calling them. I'm like, please help me. Can I do screen share? I need the help. Um, so they have been wonderful. Oh, I know why it's glitching out. It's getting dark and I don't have a light on. All right, things are gonna get a little weird. Ugh. All right. Oh yeah, I thought my character was gonna fly off the screen. It's me moving the light, turning on the light. Yes. And also shout out to Crazy Pig Sam, who is on the YouTube side of things, for helping me just with initially getting my model set up because um like I said, I'm new to all of this, and my maker sent me instructions on how to bring my model onto VTuber Studios, and I was watching tutorial videos and I was doing everything I was supposed to, and I saw like my file in the proper location, but when I went to get my model, it wasn't showing up. And I was frustrated. My partner tried helping me because they're better at computers than I am. Couldn't figure it out. Like I took a break, I went back to it, still nothing. So I reached out to my friend Crazy Pig Sam, and we did the screen sharing, and they just like looked at stuff and were like, you just kind of unzip the file. That was it. I just had to unzip the file. And there was no clip notes. There was nothing in like the instructions or any of the tutorial videos. They were just like, in case your model isn't showing, make sure that the file has been unzipped or anything like that, because apparently people send over zip files because it's easier to send over. I don't know any of this stuff. Like I said, yeah, I could talk to you about the structural integrity of a wedding cake or anything like kind of like that, but yeah. So shout out to my friends who are also here supporting me for helping me get this set up. Uh I appreciate you, and I appreciate all of you guys for being here, for helping me out, and supporting me in my debut kind of stream. Um all the loves. I got my friends from all over, and it makes me really happy and just hang out. Um I had like an idea earlier, I think. All the loves. Yeah. I had an idea earlier where it's kind of doing something similar like this, where I'm chatting, but it would be like a space for people to ask me questions about like LGBTQ plus stuff. Because I am a queer educator. My username is the Queer Rainbow Rabbit. I've done everything of either going through it myself or I've been a part of it, like with people's recovery teams. You name it, I've been a part of it. Surgery, HRT, name change, moving states for safety, harassment at work, doing professional educational panels at workplaces. If I've even flown out to another state to help somebody come out to their parents. Like, yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it'd be like something worth trying out? Oh, yay. I appreciate the feedback. Um, and I don't know. I don't know, would me playing like some kind of like easy game in the background, like a fruit matching game, be too distracting or take away from the conversation? Um, or do you think that would like help with the focus? Currently, you guys can't tell, but I am knitting while doing all this. Um, but I just want to know like what you guys think would be good. Like, would you guys like to also watch me play like a simple game where like I can easily stop it and dive into a more serious topic, and we just have like the chill game in the background? Cozy games and chat are a thing. Called it. Yeah, you know me. I like the sound of a cozy game. What are some cozy games? So I'm normally not one who plays like cozy games because I kind of get bored. Like, I was talking to somebody today about Animal Crossing, and I haven't touched that in like over a year. ADHD buddy buddies. Heck yeah! Dude, you could have a little hat accessory for those streams to represent that uh whole wearing many hats thing. I could totally draw you one of the. Oh my gosh, that'd be so silly. I love it. You mentioned to me before about Bunny Haven. Is there an easy way to connect that to stream? Um, so Bunny Haven, I play every day. For those who don't know, it's a fun, cozy game where you start a little rescue and all the bunnies that come into your rescue, like they don't leave. Like this is their haven, this is their safe space. But it's also a little cafe. So you like serve people drinks or food or uh you like brush the bunnies and stuff like that. Set up the area. I don't know if there's a computer version. Um I just play it on my phone. I would have to look into that. Or Surplus Loki. Oh, this is the wrong thing. Surplus Loki. I don't. You probably know of anyone here how to do the whole streamy phone thingy, whatever. Uh. Oh, yes, I understand this. Oh, it even has a bunny thing. Look, our many hats. I'm gonna put. Hold on. I'll make it smaller. I I will put the hat on my hat. Haha. I have two hats on. Um. I was looking on Steam though, like from other games. So one of my ideas I had was for anyone who knows me, I love the game Tetris. Like I played Tetris 99 and only one time, but I still got first place one time on Tetris 99. That's when there's 100 of you playing Tetris and you're all competing to be the last man standing. Um, hat stack time. All right. I will hat stack away. There's gotta be other. I know there's other hats in here. Come on. Na, 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 na. So I was thinking of also doing like a Tetris talk kind of thing where I would just, that wouldn't be like a serious thing. Um, well, let me have. Okay, don't show again because I understand. Whoa. Hello. You guys get to see how this thing works as like I do. Nope, wrong direction. I think I'm going to make myself smaller to be able to fit all these hats. Maybe I gotta change the order. Gonna make a hat sandwich, everybody. Oh, but this one, like, mm, gonna little cowboy kind of. No, stop. See, when I'm using my touch. Okay, now they're stacking on each other oddly. Okay, we gotta do it like this, and then we gotta unlock me, so I can. Oh, oh, okay. So that hat locked onto my head. Will this? Will you also lock on? Oh, okay, now this hat's locking on, but it's got to cover the other hat. Yeah, talking Tetris. So like Tetris 99, my favorite. Um, talk Tetris idea would be like more of my rambling of like ideas of like I have this crazy idea and I just want to talk about it. But I also have ADHD, so I'm a play Tetris kind of thing. And it would just be me like talking and like rambling about like I don't know philosophical stuff or whatever. And obviously when I die, I'll like go through the chat and talk to y'all about it. I don't know. It's just something I've thought about. Tetris Talk Tuesdays. Who knows? Um, wrong. What did I do? I hit a button. All the buttons. Y'all have any ideas that you would like to see from my cute bunny self? Well, thank you for being here, Heavenly Sky Flu. Let's see. As long as you're not expected to read questions at the same time, unless you're very good at that. I can practice that. Multitasking is something I can do. Thank you, Round Bully, for hanging out. Um, or I would do something like I would have like a co-host. Probably, I'd probably do like a Tetris Tuesday co-host person, where they could also like read out the stuff and then like we can like talk about the stuff together. Can't relate, haha. As as long as you're not expected to read a question. Okay, yeah, I already read that already. My bad, my bad. So, but Um, Surplus Loki recently got me like this matching fruit game, which I'm sure you all are familiar with, where you get like the cherry turns into a strawberry, which turns into a grape, and you're trying to stack as many fruits in the bag before like it pops out. That's a pretty chill game because there's no timer, it doesn't speed up. So like I could do something like that. Yeah, you know that game. Yeah, that's the word I was totally forgetting. Um, Also, I don't know if I can pronounce it correctly just by looking I need someone else to pronounce it for me first because I'm definitely probably not going to pronounce it correctly. So um but yeah, I was thinking about doing something like that and like, oh, that'd be great. We're playing the fruit game for fruity conversations. Suka. Like Suika? Am I pronouncing that right? Suika? Is it E like C like Suika? For those on YouTube, on the Twitch channel, my friend's trying to help me pronounce the name of this game. Well, sweet, like sweet. Okay. Suika. Okay, okay. Yeah, Suika fruit. So we could do Suika fruity talks where we talk about queer stuff and people can like ask me questions and advice. I am a huge resource hub, which I'm sure a lot of you who are my friends know that about me. Um, I got a bunch of resources about all things LGBTQ plus related. Fruity talks. Fruity talks. Fruity furry talks. We gotta like I love alliteration, so I gotta think of a good alliteration for this. Fruitful conversations. Not like fruitful. Hmm. We need something juicy. A juicy name for this. Fruitalicious. Ooh, I wonder if there's like any fruit stuff. Give me. Give me fruit. Let's see. Do they have ooh, there's a filter. Does the filter work? there are no fruit things. What about if I type in, oh, there are hats. I saw they had bunny ears. Bunny ears. We're gonna delete those. See, I gotta find something so I can like have like cute fruit. But yeah, okay. We can do something like that. Um, fruit talk sounds like a TikTok category. You know, it probably is. And I will piggyback off of that. Um, I don't mind. Just like how Homestuck, the webcomic, was starting to get a comeback during quarantine because people were using the hashtag Homestuck thinking it meant that they were stuck at home. And for all of us who knew better, hope it's queer. Of course it's queer. It's always, if it's fruity, it's queer. Uh, that's what I say anyway. Um, yeah, I'm gonna sit on that. But before I keep forgetting, because ADHD, um, yeah, I don't know how much of the live streaming stuff I'm gonna be doing. I do want to do like the fruit talk thingy because I think that'd be really fun. And I do intend on making like my other content with both my VTuber self and my fursuit in real life self. So I want to keep doing that um for the future. So I got so many ideas. This is gonna like help me get out like small ideas or like little things because even if I do like a 5 second, like I recently put out like an 8 second TikTok like clip where it was kind of like a sneak peek of my model, um, which I'm gonna make bigger. Anyway, it takes like at least 30 minutes of setup time because like you gotta get the angling, back up, the angling, the lighting, and depending on how bad my body pains are that day, like if I can even like sit on the floor or suit up can be like thankfully it's like a partial so it's not too bad but like that's in consideration also the heat um as well and normally when I do fursuit videos I talk while I make my initial recording and then when I go into editing, I just dub over what I already said because it can be muffled or difficult to hear in the suit and not like you can see my lips move anyway. So I'll just dub over it. So, and then of course the multiple shoots. So you have that. So it takes like a lot to make like the videos with my fursuit. And again, I love doing that. But this is also a fun way where I can just hop on my computer and pull this up, record, edit, and post, and now takes like maybe an hour versus like a 2 or 3 hour kind of production. I want a VTube model so I don't have to shower or look presentable to stream. Valid. Um, I highly recommend, like I said, VGen. Um, Actually, hold on. I'm gonna plug my maker. Let me pull up their stuff because they deserve a lot of love. Um, they're super awesome. I can find stuff. I swear I know how to work technology. I found it. I was talking to another artist for another thing. I have a horrible weak spot to throw money at artists. Like it's great for them. It's terrible for my wallet and for capitalism, so I'll send it to them. Um, but yes, in the Twitch chat, I just dropped the link for my maker specifically. Have fun with the rigging. If you know how to make your own rigging, like go for it. Make your own. I think it'd be really cute. But also knowing you, my dear friend, Miss Dawson, and your ADHD, it's gonna be a 5 year process. I love you. And it's gonna be a while. You can get like basic puppets, for lack of better words, because I don't really know terminology too much. And you can like sometimes do like the art and then have someone else do the rigging for you. So, because if you don't already have rigging experience, uh, at least I know like I would never get it done. I studied animation. I'm at least somewhat knowledgeable. I'll be at 5 years to start. Valid, valid. Um, I'm having a hard time trying to post this in my, oh, there we go. Eh. Now my YouTuber friends, that is also the link to my model maker. Um, let's see, you said you could do a PNG tuber instead. They're a lot easier to set up, and some tools let you use GIFs in them too. Yeah, I was actually originally gonna go with a PNG tuber instead of a VTuber because like they're cheaper, they're easier in some ways. Like I wasn't gonna make it myself because I have no digital art skills whatsoever. Um, but I I very much sometimes get the headspace of go big because why the fluff not? Um, and I fell in love with like VTubers. And okay, not gonna lie, I also started this furry podcast called Bark, BARQ, and they're just cool. There's two co-hosts and they have a rotating host and then they have like a guest and they just like talk about anything and everything in life and stuff. And they all have like either VTubers or like VR models for the podcast. Now there was recently an episode with Pent Up Pup. Crazy episode, not gonna lie. But they didn't have any of that. They just went in like with a camera and you saw them as a person. But anyway, I really want to be on their podcast. And I was like, heck, I would love to have a VTuber model to be on that podcast. So um help me get on Bark Podcast, everybody. Go on their YouTube channel and tell them that I should be on there. Yeah, help me. You don't actually have to do that if you don't want to. Um, I just think it'd be fun, and I like listening to them. Just furries talking about stuff, and yeah, kind of slice of lifey, crazy. I thought about that too. You're absolutely right. What am I absolutely right about? I just saw it and I was rambling. Um, oh, or maybe you were talking about I got to go eat, but I love you too. It was so nice seeing you. And uh, yeah, don't visit America again, but maybe I'll go up and visit Canada. Okay, yeah, that's what I took a second to realize you were talking to someone else in the chat instead of to me rambling. We're just gonna stay as safe as we possibly can. I'm only like 4 hours or so away from like the border. So, you know. Anyway, thank you again for stopping by and being here for most of my stream. I'm gonna be wrapping it up soon anyways because I have D&D at 8 o'clock my time. So within like next 15 minutes or so. But yeah. Also Vegan, the place I was just talking about before, they have a lot of really cool stuff. They got PNG tubers. Actually, shout out to Surplus Loki if you're still here. They're gonna be doing a debut of their PNG model tomorrow. It is super cool, super flashy. Definitely support them. I don't know the time. So if you're still in the chat, uh, Surplus Loki, please feel free to plug yourself. Um, 8 o'clock EST. So I will, I'll try to hop in to support you, like you're supporting me. Um, so yeah, go if you want to check out a model, a PNG model, you can get their debut. Words. Yeah. Thumbs up. Um, any last comments, questions, thoughts, concerns, before I sign off and grab food before I turn into a space hamster for D&D? I'll be showing off shiny stuff and playing some OW2. Yes! Um, I want to also, like, I started playing Overwatch on my Switch, and then they got an update, and it became too chunky for my Switch to handle. So I want to start playing Overwatch on my laptop, and I need to get a controller that hooks up to the laptop, which means more money, and I don't have that. So that might be a little bit. But I do want to also stream myself playing Pokemon Unite because I'm obsessed with that game and I play it nearly every day for years now. That doesn't mean I'm any good. Don't expect crazy stuff. Um, but yeah, just some other stuff, random streaming, ideas out there. Oh, thank you for saying the stream was great. I appreciate it. This is Funsies. Yay! I'm glad it was a nice stream. I think I have a spare controller that may work. May work is better than not having one. And for all of you who don't know, I love games. I love all kinds of games, whether it's board game, card game, RPG, tabletop, video games, all of arcade games. I love all of them. Dance games, rhythm games, love them all. Am I any good? No, I am not that good at games. There are a select few, Tetris being one of them, that I am good at. Other than that, I am not good at gaming, but I still love gaming. So if I ever do gaming streams, if you ever just want to watch someone who doesn't have skill in gaming, but is just amusing and all that, I hope I'm amusing to you guys. Um, Yeah, I might be doing that sometime. Being good at games is overrated. Having fun with them is where it's at. Heck yeah. That's where it's supposed to be. I grew up in a competitive family and like it's taken me a while to get rid of that toxic game mindset and I'm still working through it. But yeah. So hopefully maybe in the future I'll do some collabs with Surplus Loki if they'll let me. And Speaks, I don't think you're here anymore on the YouTube side. I think you just said hi bye. But I want to do some like gaming collabs with you. Um, I'll make all of you guys play Pokemon Unite with me. Mwahahaha. Pokemon Unite, I do have some skill in. Um, I've reached master rank at least twice now. I haven't been playing it as seriously now as I have before. Um, but they're getting a lot of really awesome updates, and I'm so excited. Oh, I'm a huge Pokemon nerd, so I'll probably be doing a lot of Pokemon stuff. Yay! Sounds like fun. All right. So I'm probably gonna hop off in 3 minutes. So I just want to make sure if there are any other comments, questions, thoughts, concerns, bets on if Trump's still alive or not. I don't know. Offhand stuff. You gotta expect that from me. If he's not, I'll throw a party. This is how I get canceled on day one. I'm just gonna get a Twitch notification, be like, "You're banned. You need to go to kick now." What? No. Yeah, I will. Um, I that's also not off the table for like my future like talking kind of streams is like political stuff. I am an activist. I am nose in deep into this learning about all the stuff that's happening. So that's not something I will shy away from in future streams if it happens to come up. But if it's like a planned chill stream, I won't be bringing up politics unless it comes up naturally. But if it's just like, I don't know, like a Tetris talk, like aggro kind of stream, like, yo, I got stuff I need to talk about. We're putting on Tetris. Um, because I use that for playing Tetris. Yeah. Anyways, just so you guys have like some kind of idea of what's going to be happening in like future. I don't even know what's going to be happening. I don't even, yeah. uh, chaos. I'm chaotic good. I promise. I break the law and order of goodness. um, but yeah, thank you again, everybody. I really appreciate you guys. I'm not doing streaming or video content or any of that to like get big, be a popular, get money out of it even. If I ever get money, that'd be cool. Cause like capitalism sucks and we all need more income. But that's not like my end goal for this type of stuff. I'm not gonna try to like do like flashy, like, oh, this is popular, like jump on that train kind of thing. Um, It's gonna be a lot of old school YouTube kind of vibes of figuring stuff out as you go and being silly and having a lot of bloopers and slip ups and all that. So that's my vibe, whether it's my live streams or my recorded content for the most part. And yeah, feel free to always leave comments or suggestions, whether you know me directly or anywhere else you're finding me, because I do read them and I do appreciate comments and feedback. So yeah, all great debut, dude. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I gotta try to find like a fruit thingy that I can add to this. So when I do my fruitful talks or something, I, I gotta find another like a word for talks. Y'all gotta help me out. Anyways, I'm gonna go sign off, get some noms before I turn into a space hamster. The future, Pip. The future is now. Okay. Actually, you should hit me up on Discord now because I'm gonna forget as soon as I get up. Bye. You guys have been great. I can find the stop streaming button, I promise.